850,000 bitcoins vanished into thin air, vaporizing the life savings of thousands of users overnight. The Mt. Gox collapse wasn't just a technical glitch, it was a digital heist that brought the budding cryptocurrency market to its knees. While investigators scrambled to find the missing keys, they uncovered a trail of reckless mismanagement and internal rot. Here is how a single platform nearly nuked the entire crypto dream. It was a sophisticated hack, but the truth is far more uncomfortable. Sit back, grab a cup of water, and let's get into it. To understand the disaster, you have to go back to a time when Bitcoin was essentially play money. The site started not as a financial hub, but as a place to trade virtual cards for the game Magic, the Gathering. The name Mt. Gox is actually an acronym for Magic, the Gathering Online Exchange. Its founder, Jed McCaleb, realized that if people would trade cards, they would trade anything. He pivoted the site to handle the emerging, chaotic world of Bitcoin. It was early 2010. The barrier to entry was non existent. There were no strict regulations, no robust security audits, and frankly, nobody knew what they were doing. You have to imagine the environment back then. Enthusiasts were running code on their home computers, trading fortunes on a website that looked like it was designed in the late 90s. There was an almost cult-like belief that these digital keys would revolutionize global finance. But beneath the surface, the foundation was rotting. The first major red flag appeared early on. In 2011, the site was hacked for the first time. Attackers used a compromised account to sell off massive amounts of Bitcoin, crashing the price on the exchange to essentially zero. Thousands of users saw their accounts wiped out in a matter of minutes. Instead of shutting down, the exchange limped forward. It was the largest exchange in the world, processing over 70% of all Bitcoin transactions. If you wanted Bitcoin, you went through them. That level of dominance created a false sense of security. People thought, if it's the biggest, it must be the safest. That is a dangerous assumption to make in the world of finance. Now, here's where things get interesting. Mark Karpelès, a French developer living in Tokyo, took over the company from McCaleb. He was the CEO during the most critical years from 2011 through 2014. Under his leadership, the company grew, but the technical infrastructure remained stuck in the past. The code governing the exchange was a tangled, buggy mess. There were no proper records. In some cases, the API was so poorly documented that it was virtually impossible to audit what was actually happening with user funds. Think about that for a second. This wasn't just a small startup. This was the global nerve center of the entire cryptocurrency market, and they were operating it like a garage project. If you're finding this history useful, hit subscribe. I drop videos like this every week to help you understand the forces that shape our modern world. Okay, so that brings us to the actual collapse. In early 2014, users started reporting issues with withdrawals. Your coins wouldn't leave the wallet. The support team was silent. People panicked. The price of Bitcoin started swinging wildly as rumors circulated that the exchange was insolvent. Then, on February 7th, 2014, the company officially halted all Bitcoin withdrawals. They blamed a technical issue with the Bitcoin network itself, claiming that attackers were manipulating transaction IDs. A convenient excuse, don't you think? By late February, the office in Tokyo was empty. The website, which had been the heartbeat of crypto, went offline. The total loss was staggering. 850,000 Bitcoins were gone. At the time, that was worth about $450 million. Today, that would be worth tens of billions. It wasn't just a loss for the users. It was a devastating blow to the reputation of the entire asset class. Many predicted that Bitcoin would never recover. But wait, because here is the detail I've been saving for you. Everyone talks about the hack, but the truth is actually much weirder. After the company filed for bankruptcy, investigators discovered something shocking. They found 200,000 of the missing coins sitting in an old, forgotten wallet. They weren't hacked. They were just mismanaged by the company itself. The system was so poorly organized that the leadership literally forgot they owned them. It turns out, a massive chunk of the missing funds had simply been misplaced in the chaos of their broken accounting. It wasn't just a malicious hack. It was monumental, professional incompetence at the highest level. Imagine being one of those users, watching your life savings vanish, only to realize years later that the exchange had simply lost track of where your money was stored. It's a sobering reminder that in the world of new technology, human error is almost always the greatest threat. The story doesn't end with the bankruptcy. For years, those affected have fought in Japanese courts to get their value back. And because the price of Bitcoin skyrocketed since 2014, those who held their claim are now actually receiving significant payouts compared to the dollar value of their losses back then. But for those who sold their claims early, the damage was permanent. The legacy of that collapse forced the industry to mature. Exchanges today are subject to rigorous audits, cold storage protocols, and legal oversight that simply didn't exist when the exchange was operating out of Tokyo. We learned the hard way that trustless systems still require trusted infrastructure. So there you go. A story about a card trading site, a pile of lost keys, and a financial disaster that nearly killed the most valuable digital asset in the world. The lesson is simple but powerful. Always verify, never trust blindly, and if the setup looks like a 90s website, maybe don't store your life savings there. If you got value from this, share it with someone who needs to hear the truth about the early days of crypto and subscribe so you don't miss our deep dive into the next major financial mystery. I'll see you in the next one.